Just like the title states, trucking kills. But don't let it kill you, and in this video, I'm gonna tell you how to do just that. So stick around. Truck driving is an extremely stressful career. In fact, it often ranks in the top 10 most dangerous jobs on a yearly basis. And it's full of stressors from self-induced to extrinsic stressors, and there's a lot of outside influences that are out of our control, and then there's a lot though that might seem like they're out of our control, but truly they're within our control. There needs to be an effort made on your part in order to stop the overall stress that that this job kind of just naturally flows into. It's a very sedentary lifestyle, and a lot of jobs or careers are very sedentary. So this isn't something that's out of the ordinary from let's say a guy that works at the office. But a guy that works at the office 8 hours a day he's not gonna have as much to deal with, he or she. He's not gonna have as much to deal with as let's say we will. In order for us to make money, if, as the saying goes, if the wheels ain't turning, we're not earning. And the only way for that to happen is for us to be sitting down. Have to be sitting down behind the wheel. So there are definitely some things, and I've got 5 things that I'm gonna talk about in this video that you can do to avoid stress and to kind of eliminate it and prolong your life. I mean, some people might want to die in the truck. I certainly don't, and I'm gonna share how you can avoid that in this video. And of course, the last one is probably gonna be the one with the biggest surprise, I would say. And I think it's really gonna surprise you, but at the same time, it is actually, in fact, probably the most important. And the first thing right out of the gate that we're gonna talk about is exercise. But wait, don't click off the video. You don't need to be Richard Simmons out here sweating to the oldies in the parking lot. Walking is more than adequate. And just getting out and walking periodically throughout your day is gonna make a massive, massive difference. Especially if you are basically not doing any kind of exercise whatsoever. I would urge you that if you are, if exercise is something that you struggle with, and even walking, kind of wins you, then start out with 5-minute intervals. I mean, if you can walk inside the truck stop, then you can pretty easily walk 5 minutes. And just 5-minute intervals, once before you start your day, once on your 30-minute break, and once at the end of your day, is going to make a world of difference. Getting that blood flowing, kind of breaking up your drive, or your 11-hour shift that that's your drive time for the day. Getting out and moving around is certainly going to do wonders for you. And, kind of build yourself up. Like I said, you don't have to be out here breaking a sweat, exercising, trying to look like a bodybuilder, but getting out and walking kind of with authority is certainly for just 5 minutes a day, 3 times a day is going to make a world of difference. And I highly urge you to do some form of exercise. If you can do more, by all means, then do more. And the next thing is anger management. And yeah, surprise, surprise. Anger management is definitely a skill that you want to work on. And there's many different ways to do this, and I'll go into one of them in this video, but all you have to do is type in, to the YouTube search bar, anger management, and a ton of different videos are gonna pop up. You have to find the style or, the cure for this, whatever suits you, because everybody's different. I like meditation. I think meditation's great. I don't get the chance often to meditate, so I'm not going to try to paint this picture that I do all of these things. I'm rocking the dad bod, which we'll get into that in a little bit. But anger management is certainly something that is going to help you and extend your life. Every time that you get cut off by a four-wheeler, if you're screaming and hollering and giving them the finger and doing all this, then every single time your blood pressure's raised, you're shortening your life, believe it or not. And you're raising your cortisol levels. That in turn is causing you to have a weight problem. It's this domino effect. Stress has such a domino effect and affects every single area of your life. And it's really something that, a controlled, targeted effort, you can combat this. But anger management is certainly something that you want to try to work on, and you got to choose the method that's right for you. And I alluded to this a little bit, rocking the dad bod, but diet, I mean, it's huge. As truck drivers, when we walk into the truck stops, first, they're massively overpriced. And the things that are most readily available to us are fried foods and processed foods. And this is something that you certainly need to avoid. Yeah, sure, does it all taste good? Yeah, of course it tastes good. Does pizza taste good? Do wings taste good? Of course they do. But at the same time, your poor diet in combination with the sedentary lifestyle, no exercise, get mad all the time, I mean, that's just the formula for an early heart attack. And this is something that we certainly need to, you have to focus on as truck drivers more so than anyone else. Because the fact that it's such an inactive lifestyle. It's why I like, doing open deck trucking, because I get at least a little bit of exercise when I do load and unload. But diet, there's a couple of different ways to kind of attack this. I would say stay away from fad diets. They're usually a lot more harmful than they are helpful. And I'm even talking about a ketogenic diet. Out here on the road, it's difficult to follow basically any fad diet, but probably even more so, there's so much misinformation out here on the internet that you probably don't even know following a ketogenic diet, you really need to be supplementing with minerals and electrolytes, because that's something that you don't get from the diet, yet it's depleted heavily. This is a major, major health risk. So, fad diets, I would say just kind of stay away from. Just an overall healthy, balanced diet. Stuff that's natural, stuff that's organic. I'm not talking about going down, and buying hummus from, Whole Foods, but, just chicken, beef, easy on the beef, red meat, not all that great for you, but vegetables, fruits, stuff that's natural, stuff that has, just has one ingredient to it. If you can do that, if you can cook for yourself, that's great. Basically between YouTube and trucking, I don't have time for anything else. So cooking for me is not necessarily an option, but I do try to eat as well as I possibly can. Not gonna say that I do a wonderful job of that, or I'd already have my six-pack, my goal for 2021, but it is something that I'm definitely gonna focus on. So, if you're new to the channel, please, hit the like button if you're enjoying the video. Don't forget to subscribe. I will be getting into that. I'm not gonna go more in depth than that in this video, but as the year progresses, I will be dabbling on it in many different videos, and I'll give you some tips and some tricks, and you'll be able to see that transformation. I'm gonna put this out there, six-pack by November. That's gonna happen for me, and I'm guaranteeing that, actually. Unless something happens to me, like my health, physically, I'm guaranteeing that. And you're gonna be able to follow along with that journey if you do hit that subscribe button. I'll go over diet stuff, I'll go over what I'm gonna do for exercise, and I'm definitely gonna be adding more weights to the truck in the near future, so stick around for that. Now this one might surprise you, but this one's not exactly the most shocking. Laughing and smiling more. And literally, the act of smiling creates endorphins in the body. When your face creates that shape, and the muscles move in the proper places, it literally releases endorphins into your body. And the endorphins help to combat the stress hormones, and obviously you get the picture. But laughing and smiling more, it's going to increase your mood. It's great for fighting depression, it's great for fighting the loneliness, it's great for combating stress levels. So not exactly surprising, but I bet you're probably a little bit surprised that it even popped up on the list. And last, and this is certainly debatable, but it's arguably the most important, sleep. Getting the proper amount of sleep. And as a brand new truck driver, being out here, being new, I'm talking like the first month of your career, getting used to all the different noises of the truck stops. If you're, pulling a reefer, getting used to that reefer blaring in your ear all night. There's a lot to adjust to. Being away from home, learning to sleep in your bed in your new home. Getting the proper amount of sleep is difficult, but it's something that is of the utmost importance. The number one fitness and nutrition podcast is the Model Health Show. And I urge you to go over there and listen to that. That's a good source of information, everything that he puts out. He's a former model, and you can go into that if you want to check him out. His name's Sean Stevenson, the Model Health Podcast. You can find it anywhere podcasts are available. He has some stuff on YouTube, but it's mainly podcast format. He talks a lot about sleep. He's written books about sleep, so he certainly knows the importance of that. And then, of course, he goes into all of the other stuff too. So definitely check him out for some really good advice on getting better sleep. Anything related to fitness, nutrition, all of that stuff is going to combat those stress levels. It's going to help you to live longer in a profession that kills. Yes, trucking kills, but you don't have to be. Everything that I just talked about, these are all choices. So you just have to learn to make the choice whether or not you want to live a long, happy, healthy lifestyle, or if you want to be the sedentary, grumpy old truck driver. I urge you not to do that. Please don't do that. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, ring that notification bell. I appreciate each and every one of you. But as always, stay driven.